Okay, hello everyone again. Um, so I just want to go through demo first and explain what we're going to achieve here, and then we will go to architecture details and actual demo. So we have a nice flow here. If you can see, it starts with a developer, and developer basically doesn't know anything about, doesn't know too much about infrastructure. They just planning to deploy the new version of application, start traffic flowing there, and basically when they do it, they will make some mistakes. So we have here GitOps actions that will basically catch it, analyze it, and say, no, you need to fix error. So after error is fixed, basically, changes will be accepted in GitHub. It will be meshed to a main branch. So next, what will happen, we have also Flux, Flux CD running here. Flux CD will pick up these changes and move them to, basically we'll create application and we'll create Tetrate Service Bridge objects to serve traffic. And so when developer is happy with the traffic flow, what will happen next? Basically, we will add more traffic and see how these changes get applied in a similar manner, right? So it's basically our demo scenario, and I'll probably go back here. So here's our architecture. So we have Tetrate Service Bridge running on three different clusters. One cluster, we call it tier one, but think about it as ingress. So all traffic comes from outside world. In our case, we'll have traffic generator. It comes to ingress gateway, and then ingress gateway, depending on configurations that developer set up, distributes traffic between two clusters. One of these clusters will run blue application, blue meaning in these terms, blue meaning stable application, and developer will deploy green one. So slowly we'll start switching traffic to green. So another couple of things to cover here. We have basically GitHub repo that we'll be going through. It has everything, and I'll cover it in a little bit later in more details. The most interesting part is actions. So before changes applied, they go through GitHub actions, and Weaveworks piece actually validates them. And we will be validating standard Kubernetes objects, and also we'll be validating specific Tetrate Service Bridge objects. Steve, if you want to cover a little bit on Weaveworks application here. So right now, I think there's not too much, but if you want me to click on different places and talk about it a little bit. Right now, for my purpose, we have this webinar app that we will be watching, and as soon as changes applied, we will see it's happening here, so it will help us to monitor it here. And finally, Tetrate Service Bridge. Let me just start from the beginning. Tetrate Service Bridge is an enterprise platform to manage multiple versions of Istio in multiple clusters, cross-cluster communications. We all take care of it in terms of permissions, in terms of observability, in terms of security. So let me just log in. So also I just entered local admin account, but also we integrate with Active Directory and with OEDC providers. And we have a lot of security settings here. It can be by different role. You can see on different levels, we can assign a person different permissions, role different permissions, and then these permissions can match specific user or team, right? So, but right now we're going to focus on different items. So here you see 3 clusters that I just touched. Ingress, blue that has application, and green doesn't have application right now. You can see there's no gateways here, and so we will not see anything happening here. So if I look at namespaces here, we only have ingress and blue. So when we deploy green application, it will show up here and we can monitor traffic here. So right now, as I said, we have traffic generator that sends requests here. They come to ingress gateway and then ingress gateway here, and then it all gets sent to blue. So to be more specific, we have visual representation of it. So you can see traffic comes here, ignore this, it's internal component. So traffic comes here and then it gets deployed to blue cluster. So now let's switch to application itself. So here is my application. You see these scripts represent specific hits. So they're all blue, and on the bottom it's basically distribution between blue and green. So right now it's 100% blue. So I refreshed application, it's kind of reset itself. Let's look at the code. So as I said, we have GitHub repo here. And right now, it's basically simple object saying 100% of traffic going to blue. It's a Tetrate object that tells Tetrate to configure Istio to distribute all traffic to blue. And components that TSB, Tetrate Service Bridge, is deploying. So different components that define all different structure and different users that can change different things. Also, here is a policy. Steve, if you want to cover a little bit of policy for this webinar. So we have 2 sets of policies. One of them container policy, and another one is actually policy for TSB, specific for Tetrate Service Bridge. So one interesting thing here, we are checking if all these objects exist in organization. So what we will do here, we will create new branch, and instead of currently applied load balancer on TSB, we actually put deployment of application. So user should be a developer in our case, should just deploy application. And as you can see, it's a pretty simple YAML. Also, we will have service here, and yeah, service and application, just Helm charts. So only thing is actually, I'm just trying to pay attention here, to take your attention to it's a blue and green deployment. So after we deploy green deployment, and you see first one is in AWS. Now the developer only has access to GCP, so they're deploying application GCP and putting 10% of traffic to GCP. So one interesting thing to mention here, developer is from UK and they spell organization using S, which they believe right way. But if you look at TSB annotation, in our case, it requires a Z. So we also can check it with TSB CLI utility. See, object is spelled with Z. So it's spelled incorrectly right now. So it will allow us to see what how Weaveworks will catch it before it gets applied to TSB itself. So because TSB would just decline it and Helm application would fail. So we need to catch it before actually it goes to Helm, and then we need to look through log files and see differences. So let me just copy application files. As I copied here, you see there's a 3 new files plus load balancer that we just discussed with organizations spelled British way. So next thing would be to change Helm chart version. So Helm knows it's a new version and actually tries to apply it. So command here, I'm adding all my files that I changed and putting comment on my commit and then pushing it directly to the green branch. So now if we look at GitHub, we can see there's a new branch was pulled and it offers me to create pull request. So I'll create pull request, and as I said before, there's a action that configured, and action will go through validation of policies. So policy validation is creating right now, and it failed, and we can see here we are missing annotation for TSB Tetrate organization. So let me fix it. So I'll go back to my charts, and here correct organization spelling. And resubmit request. So now if we look at GitHub, action summary, my new commit already being checked, and it's a green mark. So if I go to pull requests and look at here, so after it's all checked and applied, there's also reviewer should review it before measuring it. But for demo purposes, I will be my own reviewer. So I merge request. And next thing we will look at flags, and we will look when. So now we have increased interval of every 15 seconds. Every 15 seconds is checking if commit is done. So let's see. Maybe refresh. Still no events. And I don't know why. Everything applied here. Here we go. So finally it happened. So Helm got applied, started and succeeded. So and we will see here soon some green hits. And also if I refresh my browser here, so now you can see TSB detected that I have application in the green and added it to the list. So now if I look here, still not enough traffic. So soon we will see that it gets divided between these two. Let me just keep refreshing. Here we go. So now we have green traffic coming to GCP and blue traffic still hitting AWS. So, and again, if refresh here, so both services up and we see approximately 10% of traffic going, very approximately 10% of traffic going to green. So since we still have a little bit of time, I just want to demonstrate when developer is confident what's happening with traffic and they want to increase more, all simple things they would do. So I'll just clear it. They will change proportions to, let's say, they want 60% of traffic coming to blue, 30% traffic coming to blue and 70% coming to green. So only just maintenance change. We need again to change version here and merge changes. So submit and merge. So basically I'm doing the same thing with GitHub. The only thing different here is comment to my commit. Beautiful. It got sent to GitHub. Let me create new pull request because previous pull request was already applied. And closed. So you can see here only two changes. We're changing version of Helm chart and we're changing percentage. So pretty much any developer can do that. And we'll create pull request. Wait for checks. It says succeeded, but it's GitHub kind of glitch. So it takes a second before it actually kicks it off. Okay, all checks passed. I'm pretending I'm a different person who approves the request now. I match my request and we will be waiting a little bit for changes to be applied here and see more green traffic there. And maybe I'll look at TSB again, but basically it concludes my presentation and you can see more green coming now. Yeah, we can go and start answering questions. I'll keep my screen running for a few minutes just if there's any questions that require, or maybe Steve, you want to add something. Okay, thank you very much.